Yeah, welcome to Cappuccino Talk.
What's up, guys? Back with another one. Got a walk vlog this time because halfway through I went for a walk, and halfway through it fucking started raining. So kind of raining hard a little bit. So I was considering like just going down to the river and doing it there, but I'm just gonna do it as I walk because there's nobody here anyways, and I don't really want to stand out in the rain as much, more than I need to. This also proves how much I love you guys, so just so you know. Just joking. Yeah, what I want to talk about today is an idea that came to mind when I started walking, actually. What it is I don't know what to call it, and I'm going to over-dramatize it and be super cheesy, but it is the global revolution of commonism. Not communism, commonism. Like C-O-M-M-O-N. Here, there's some people coming, and I don't want to look like a weirdo, so I'll catch up with you guys in a sec. And we're back. So, the idea of commonism, and what sparked, or what made me think of that is, or what the whole idea behind this video is, one thing I've noticed around the world, and it's not just, like, it's definitely happening in America with the political side of things. But what I'm also noticing is just a trend happening around the world with this. So, I live in my parents' house, and they rent out a couple rooms to Airbnb. So it's pretty much like you just rent out a room to whoever, and people, like, for whatever price, and they pay that price kind of, and you can approve them or deny them, or you can set whatever price you want. So, catching. Yeah, so my parents, they rent out a room to Airbnb. Anyways, right now we have a few people from Pakistan who have moved here, and they're setting up their family, and you know what I mean. And I ended up talking to them about the political stuff going on in Pakistan, and a trend that he said is it is 100% the young people are trying to get the old people out. Another example that's extremely recent is the Brexit. Britain exiting the European Union. Can't fucking say that, but that's another example where I have a lot of friends on Facebook from traveling from England. I just made a lot of British friends for some reason, and every single post from anyone from England, and they're mostly around my age, has been, what the fuck just happened? Like, Britain, it's not a good situation, I don't think, right now. Hopefully it levels off, and I don't know what's going to happen, but right now it's not a very good situation. So the point is, another example of it is a lot of the people that I know, you know, they were posting graphs about who voted yes, who voted no, and the graphs just said the older people voted yes to exit, and the younger people voted no to stay in the EU. And so, hopefully my lens isn't getting too rainy. I'm trying to point it downwards so it doesn't collect all the rain, but so yeah, they're noticing that trend as well, where the younger generation is losing patience with the older generation's way of doing things. And how this ties back into communism is, now this is my opinion, there's no charts on this or polls or anything. This is just what I've noticed. And let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. It's all good. I get a bit heated, but I love having those discussions, so I don't hold it against anybody. I really don't, because I do completely believe that everybody, like, we're just in a point in time right now and people have different opinions, and that's good for people to have different opinions. We wouldn't be human if we all had the same opinion. Like, we would be dogs. Like, all dogs have the same opinion. They just want food and they want to go chase a ball. You know what I mean? So it is good that humans are, or that everybody in the world is, it's good that there is that debate between conservative and progressive, because it makes people look at both sides more clearly. And honestly, I've honestly said this my whole life. I never think that that an extreme example is the way to go in any situation. I really defy you to find a situation, you know, between 2 points where it's like, oh, you need to choose one way or the other, where the extreme example or the extreme stance on that position is the best one. Because I really don't think you'll find it, because I don't think it exists. And so bringing that into politics, I think the best way of handling politics is a balance between progressive and conservative, because I do understand the conservative perspective. I do, because we've lived that, and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. That's their stance, I think. Like, they don't want progressives. They're afraid of getting ahead of themselves. You know what I mean? And just like running too fast, trying to change everything. And I understand that, and I agree with that, to be honest. Things need to be done in the right way, and they need to be done in a balanced way, where you balance. I really hope the microphone is picking up okay, but in a balanced way where you balance conservative and progressive values. I'll catch back up with you after I cross this road here. Check out this bridge. It's another. Fuck, it just looks so nice at night. But anyways, I'll catch up with you guys in a sec. All right. Look at this. This is my. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah. This school was the first brick building in Calgary. It was built like over 100 years ago. And since the river is right there, that's the bridge. The flood completely took out that building. That was my elementary school. And they're just rebuilding it right now. I think they're keeping a few of the walls. I don't care at all. I'm not heartbroken over it. I didn't really have a good time at that school. Everybody there was just a bunch of fucking spoiled rich kids. And I came from like like an inner city. Like, literally my friends were like every single color of the fucking rainbow. There was nobody gave a shit, nobody questioned anything like that when I was young. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so weird now. Like, people are questioning it. It's like, it just rubs me the wrong way. It's just so weird to me. Like, actual racism. You know what I mean? Like, or implied racism in speech. You know? It's like, anyway. Yeah, so the point is communism. And so, the younger generation, in my opinion, has, I don't know why or what, but they, in my opinion, generally, what I see, they have a tendency towards taking the common people into account. You know what I mean? And whether that's because the economy has slowed down and they have become the common people, or whether it's because the the internet is in this generation now, and the old generation didn't have it. And what the internet does is it shows everybody, shows the common people, it shows that it's normal. Everybody, it's super rare to, own a Ferrari or be rich, whereas before, that shit was all over TV. Like, you watch TV and all you see is the rich people. And anyways, for me it was, because why would a TV show want to, from their perspective, why would they want to show the common people? That's not exciting. That's not, that's not a rare thing that people will tune into. But what has happened is people were subjected to that so much, I think. This is all my opinion. Were subjected to that so much that they just were like, it doesn't happen. Okay, like, I'll look at it every once in a while, but realistically, that's not the way it is. And so people have started to appreciate, the common folk, like more than they used to, because they're more exposed to it through Facebook and everything. You know what I mean? Even just Facebook, you see what everybody's doing, and not everybody's doing what when I grew up, what I saw on TV. What I saw on TV was like dreamland everywhere, like Ferraris or this or that or whatever. And I'm exaggerating, and you got to take it with what I'm saying right now with a grain of salt, because it wasn't like I was pummeled in my youth with fucking corporatist shit, but in North America we really were, actually. And I don't know about the rest of the world, but it seems like they're kind of going in that direction as well. Or the younger generations seem to be pushing the idea that, like, elitism is very, very out, I think, I don't think, like, just from what I see, I don't know, I live in a little bit of a bubble, I would say. Like, I'm not exposed to everyone around the world, you know what I mean? I don't know what everybody's thinking, so I really don't want to generalize and start speaking for everybody in the world, because I know that I don't speak for them. But yeah, like, it's kind of hard to wrap this up or put it into like a succinct sentence, because it's only my observations over time that have kind of led me to this conclusion. There's not a graph that I can show you where it's like, oh yep, older generation sucks and newer generation is good, or vice versa, or whatever. Like, there's no, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, I think like the original idea for this, I was gonna say, honestly, I think the thing, like we can't blame the older generation, because we're a part of it too. We're a part of everything, you know what I mean? We impact it, or we, lack of action is as evil as negative action, or whatever that saying is. I don't know what that saying is. Hopefully you know what I mean, but you probably don't. But like, honestly, I like, if I were to give a message to this generation in any country, in any continent, anywhere across the country, it's, don't be afraid to let yourself be angry at the status quo. And I'm not saying go and do violent things at all. Don't do that shit, because that will not help any cause. It'll do the opposite. What I'm saying is, become aware and get angry and fight back against the status quo, and fight back against the things that you want to change, or that you want to see changed. quote comes to mind. It's like, be the change that you want to see in the world. And honestly, this generation needs to do that, because the last generation has, I made a video about this, but the last generation really has screwed up this world quite a lot. And we need to fight for it back, you know what I mean? Like, and not necessarily, I don't mean to be that dramatic, but it's just like, this generation is more enlightened to the world, and they're way less ignorant than the older generation, so we need to teach them. I guarantee you, as a young person or whatever, you have some ideas that you disagree with your parents for, and you can back it up, you can give stats, you can logically say that your idea is better. But there's my Jeep. Fuck yeah. Look at that guy. Yeah, so you can honestly say that your idea is better, and that is what you need to, that's what you need to fight for, that's what you need to push for, because otherwise it'll just keep perpetuating. And the problem that's going on right now, if I were to just pin it down to one and just give you an idea, if you're not quite sure, take a look at how money influences politics in your country, and take a hard look at that. And depending on what country you live in, that might already be a complete reality, you know. I should look at more into Canada. I don't pay attention to Canada at all, because I just am so bored by it, but I should, because I have an interview with, like, I mean, you know, the city that I live in, of a million, I guess, the congressman, or I think city council, that's what it is. The city council agreed to have an interview with me and talk about things. So I'd love to do that, and I'd love to just learn about what they think is the problem, and what they see as the solution, and I think that will really give me, and hopefully you and anybody, an idea of maybe what they're thinking, or maybe a different perspective, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe their way is the best. You know what I mean? Like, I'm totally open to that, but I just feel the way I do until I have different facts presented to me. Unless different data is presented to me that shows me the opposite, I'm gonna think one way, and it's not, and nobody's gonna just like guilt me into it, or tell me, oh, I'm wrong because they're powerful. You know what I mean? They're more powerful, so they must be right. No, that's not how it works. That's how corruption starts, and that's how everything falls. So one last point is, and this is a bit of a sobering point, but after learning a lot about the Roman system and everything there, their ship was a republic. It was the Republic of Rome. They ended up getting destroyed from within. They were so powerful. Their armies were so powerful. Their economy was so powerful. The idea of them at that time was so powerful that the only thing that could destroy them was themselves, and that's exactly what destroyed them. So I see the exact same thing going on in the States. They are so powerful. Everybody is afraid of saying anything bad about them, because nobody wants to get into a war with them, because their army is larger than most countries' populations. So, and the only thing that will bring the U.S. down is the U.S. from within. And I have to say, I'm afraid that it might be happening at the moment, because with Hillary and with Trump and with whatever. And I'm not saying it's like we're gone, like we're goners. No, things can be changed, but right now it's not in a good spot, right? And I don't think anybody can, that's not a new idea for anybody. That's not, I'm not like, that's not breaking news for anybody, So let's just honestly open your eyes, guys, and look at it, because you are, as much as, you know, I grew up, honestly, especially in Canada, and I really hope it's not like this in other countries, because I don't really know, but I grew up thinking that I didn't have a voice. I didn't matter. I didn't, like, what could I do to change anything? You know what I mean? And not in like a hopeless way, but it's just like, oh, of all the people, like, I don't even know anything, who cares, you know? And I was totally guilty of it up until like a year and a half ago. I'm not saying get into it like and like go crazy with it, but just be aware of what's going on in your country. That's it. That's all you need to do. If everybody was just aware of actually what's going on in their country, if everybody in the world was aware, or they looked into it, they put effort into trying to find out, at least, because a lot of things are hidden, of course, but if they put effort in, and especially with the internet, try to find out, like, the world would be such a better place, and governments would be less oppressive. Like, that's the whole thing. It's just, let's stop oppressing people. You know what I mean? Let's stop profiting off poor people. Let's try to help the people who are less fortunate, and help the people, help the people who are less fortunate. That's it. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Yeah, thanks for listening to another episode of Cappuccino Talk.